Las Vegas, Nevada. Welcome back to another episode of Get Sharp, everybody. Joe Fortenbaugh, Todd Fuhrman, senior race and sports analyst for Caesars Entertainment, did an excellent job yesterday breaking down the Saints and the Lions. Today, we're going to stick with the NFC. We're going to talk about the 10-6 Atlanta Falcons, who got a little stroke of luck last week with Green Bay beating Detroit. They get to avoid the trip to the Voodoo Dome. They're heading north to take on the 9-7 New York Giants. Game opens on the key number of 3. So when you take a look at this game, both teams coming in hot. It's not like we see in the AFC with the Bengals and the Texans backdooring their way in. Two teams coming in on hot streaks. What should we be looking for?
This game I actually seen a little bit of Falcon money early in the week. Price tag fluctuating. Won't come off the 3, I don't think, but dropping to 3 even. You're real reluctant to move off a key number in a game of this magnitude. The Giants have been inconsistent, though. You look at the way they've played down the stretch. They had that clunker in there against the Redskins, an obvious flat spot. But this is a team with a dynamic passer in Eli Manning, a two-headed monster in the backfield, now that Ahmad Bradshaw and Brandon Jacobs are finally healthy, and a defensive line and a front four that may be among the best in the NFL. The biggest question mark for the Giants is that secondary. But this Atlanta Falcons team, a much different team when they leave the turf than George Hill.
I love the tone, how you close out the statements. It's very professional. I've talked to and read a few guys that kind of do this for a living, and the lean seems to be towards the Atlanta Falcons heading into Sunday. They seem to feel like 3 is a good number for them. Atlanta might win this game outright. What are your thoughts on that? Because like you said, you take Atlanta outside the dome, it becomes a different situation.
The big thing with Atlanta, and if you look at the numbers, there are a couple things they do well. First of which is protect the quarterback. You look at what the offensive line has done to keep Matt Ryan upright throughout the year. I believe the numbers about 4.5% of his total dropbacks result in a sack. It's amongst the NFL's lowest, and that's what you need against the Giants to slow this rush. You keep Matt Ryan upright. This Giants secondary won't strike fear into the hearts of anybody, especially with the likes of Roddy White, assuming Roddy shows up, Julio Jones. I think Tony Gonzalez becomes the real key, being able to exploit that deep middle against the suspect Giants linebacking core. And the other big question, if Michael Turner gets on track, it forces the Giants to respect the run. You can't pin your ears back after the quarterback.
Falcons have a ridiculous record when Michael Turner gets 21 or more touches in a game, so you got to figure that's going to be one of the keys, is to keep him heavily involved in the offense. Total opens around 49, moves down to 47. I found that interesting because you've got 2 quarterbacks who can throw, 2 great receiving units, and 2 secondaries that are susceptible to the passing game this year. Why would this thing be moving down? Does it have to do with the weather?
Some real interesting things. If you look at the Atlanta Falcons throughout the year and what they've done trend-wise, during the middle of the season, they played a stretch of 7 straight unders in the middle of the year. It wasn't until these final 4 games that we've seen the Falcons go over the posted total in 4 consecutive games. However, the only team they've played in this final 4-game stretch with a winning record was the Saints, and they mustered 16 points in that game. Going over a posted total against the likes of Carolina, Jacksonville, and Tampa Bay doesn't tell me a whole lot, and I don't think Atlanta is built for a firefight. So if you like the Falcons catching the 3, they're going to need to win this game 24-21, 23-20, and really chew clock and keep Eli off and Victor Cruz off the field.
If Todd Fuhrman is put on the spot, has to give the team an edge this weekend that he thinks might come ahead, who would it be?
I actually think it's the Falcons' ground game, to be honest. I think they'll pound Michael Turner. I don't think we'll see what we saw from Atlanta early in the year, where they seem enamored with trying to throw the deep ball. They're going to use Michael Turner on a steady dose, slow down this Giants pass rush, and kind of play ball control to keep the Giants offense with more playmakers on the sidelines.
Something a lot of people don't know, the New York Giants have not won a home playoff game since they blew out the Vikings back in January of 2001. Went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Ravens that year. But it's hard to imagine that a team with so much regular season success has not won a home playoff game in a long time.
It's tremendous. This Giants team seems to play better football away from MetLife Stadium. You know, the last game of the season notwithstanding. Funny story about that playoff game. I was actually playing junior hockey up in Burlington, Vermont, checking scores in between periods. Not sure my coach was real fond of that, trying to make sure I could coax my bet in and make sure my Giants were all right.
Who were you on? You were on the Giants that day?
I was on the Giants that day. Easy winner the way I look at it.
41-0. Congratulations on that. Thank you for the excellent work as always. Enjoy the game today, everybody. Best of luck. Todd's going to be back later in the season, but he's a very busy man, has very much to do today. Radio shows. We thank you so much for your time. Good luck, like we said. We'll see you next time.